So today's episode is a bit different. We're going to be doing the full review of this Grand Seiko. It's an incredible watch. I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. I love Grand Seiko. I love most of their watches. Few things I would change about their watches to make them perfect. But for the most part, the finishing, the movement, especially the attention to detail, you can't really beat Grand Seiko at their price. In fact, double their price, even triple their price. They're competing with a lot of big dogs. But today I'm going to be talking about why, after thinking about it for a while, despite a lot of my videos, I don't think in the mass market, Grand Seiko will be competing with Rolex. I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why that is. You know, a lot of YouTubers, including myself, have been saying that Grand Seiko is taking over, Grand Seiko is getting more hyped, and they are. Grand Seiko is getting more and more popular. But the more I thought about it, the more I kind of thought Grand Seiko isn't going to take over Rolex. But that's actually a really good thing. Let's talk about why. Now, to fully understand today's topic, we have to discuss that we're talking about a mass market appeal. We're not going to be talking about just a collector's appeal, but from a mass market perspective, Rolex is still king at marketing. Now, we all know Rolex doesn't make the best watches in the world, but from a mass market, from people who don't know much about watches, they consider Rolex to be the best simply because they have the best marketing. A lot of people don't even know what a Rolex looks like to know the brand. If that isn't marketing genius, I don't know what is. Like I said, they don't make the best watches in the world, but ask anybody in the street, they'll most likely know what a Rolex is. Now, could Grand Seiko eventually get to that point? Yes, but we probably won't like it. I'll explain. Let's first talk about Seiko as a brand. Now, if you ask anybody in the street, anybody you know that doesn't know much about watches, show them your Grand Seiko. They'll most likely say, hey, this is a great watch, and I had a Seiko when I was younger. I've heard of Seiko, something along those lines, but Seiko has an affordable watch stigma to it. Nothing wrong with that, but when you tell them the price of the Grand Seiko, a lot of people will be shocked. Tell them you bought a Grand Seiko for $5,000, they'll ask you, why didn't you buy a Rolex? It's easy to understand why. Seiko as a brand has been known to bring value. Adding the word grand to someone who doesn't understand the little details that we love might not make a lot of sense. Now, a very important distinction we need to acknowledge is marketing does not equal substance. Just because a brand has incredible marketing or the watch goes up in price in the pre-owned market, take the 5711 for example, does not mean it is an incredible watch. Now, by no means am I saying the 5711 is a bad watch, but even when it was trading at retail, when I experienced that watch, I was a bit disappointed. Now it's trading for over $100,000 and it's still the same watch. So always remember, just because Grand Seiko isn't as hyped as Rolex, doesn't mean it's a worse watch. Now, you may have noticed in the beginning of the video, I did mention Grand Seiko will not compete with Rolex, at least in terms of marketing and desirability. I did say that was a good thing. Now you might be wondering, why is that a good thing? Don't you want your Grand Seiko to be desirable? Well, if you think about it from a marketing perspective, Grand Seiko could do what other brands did. Take Patek, take Vacheron, take AP, especially AP. They did just that. Now they're competing in terms of marketing hype with Rolex. Not with their watches, but with marketing. So, if you ever think about the term, be careful what you wish for, it applies perfectly with this situation. You see, a lot of us, including myself, have been talking about how we want Grand Seiko to dominate Rolex and other brands. But one thing that I really do appreciate when you really think about it, Grand Seiko is still a collector's best kept secret. A lot of us as collectors can still enjoy the incredible watches Grand Seiko has to offer. The details that you don't find with 2, 3, 4 times the price of watches from bigger brands, we get with Grand Seiko. I put their watches on their macro and I can't find a single flaw. I absolutely love that. As a collector, I appreciate that. But be careful what you wish for. Imagine if Grand Seiko finally reaches that point where they have long waiting lists. Is that really what we want? Do we really want Grand Seiko to be as hyped as Rolex? When I thought about it, I don't. Now I've decided I will type up an article with the full review of this piece. It's an incredible watch, 40mm, 13mm thick, automatic caliber, limited edition to 2,500 pieces, incredible blue dial. But I'm just gonna keep this video like this, talking about a topic that I would love to hear back from you in the comment section below. So I'll have the article down below, and please add your comments about what you think about this topic. Let us know, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. When considering your next luxury purchase, it's important to find someone you can trust, but also authorized dealers for the brands. Today's sponsor is ExquisiteTimepieces.com. Exquisite Timepieces have been in the business for the past 30 years, and they're authorized dealers for many brands such as Omega, Blopa, Breguet, Glasuta, and many more. They also carry high-end watches in the pre-owned section, so make sure you check out ExquisiteTimepieces.com or book a call with Exquisite Timepieces to consult about your next purchase.